we are caught up more into the small things. Basically, how much TV time to give to them, how much not TV time not to give to them. So all those things, what to do, what not to do, how much to control them, how much not to control. So I think we are more busy in that.
Yeah. So Salil, it is always about if they have done their work and if you have helped them understand priorities. Just a second. If you've created some kind of priorities with them about because I know you guys work really hard, all of you, and both of you work. So for them to also understand, that work for them, they are just children and their only responsibility is studies, homework, which should be done properly and on time. So to have that understanding how their day should be once they come back from school, and yet they should also have their free time. So I guess it's more that you have to have that clarity because you must have it. If you and your wife don't lay out certain clear rules, then they will get away. They will anyway get away many times by watching TV because TV it's very easy to access most of the time. So, but if they are doing their studies and if they are doing what they should do, but then what kind of programs you want to watch for them to watch. So a lot of things are there, and that is a dilemma that I think the parents are going through, what all to cut out, what all to keep. There's just so much happening out there. I still feel that TV time should be limited because it's not like they're going to gain much from values from the TV. So as much as possible, a bit of outdoor activity is very important if that can be included. Nowadays I find that hardly any kids play outside, they're mostly indoors only. So if they can have that, if there is space that allows them to get a bit of outdoor action in their day, then that I think they must do. And the rest, mom and dad time, maybe together you guys can watch something which is like they can sit with you and they can watch some program with you. So they can ask you questions, and if they can ask you questions and get answers about those, whether it's TV or not, it's an interaction with you. It becomes a family time. So that would also go well with them. These are all very gray areas because the school hours differ for every child. If they have long school hours, then rest time, then food time, then play time, then study time, then mom-dad time. So excessive of TV keeps them more in stories. It takes their mind more into unreal things. So to know why the TV is not a good idea, first and foremost, is very important. It's very much of, taking the mind on a wandering state, not really giving it something constructive to do. So these days, this is one of the things that is just happening, very rampant. So to explore the things that can actually guide them a little more constructively, maybe something in their week that takes care of their intelligence, because they're intelligent. The children of today are very intelligent. And the intelligence, if it's not guided correctly, it'll be splurged. So that intelligence, now they may not sit and read books, few children do that, but in whichever way that intelligence can be directed, that would be wonderful. So one would have to see the child's aptitude in that. What does he really like to do? What is his hobby? Help him develop something that he likes to do, and those things must be somehow made accessible to him. So if he has like a class of half an hour with something which inspires him, which is his passion, then he won't run towards the TV because his energies will be used. So things like that, and I'm sure now you get a lot of teachers who can come home or the child can go somewhere. So if you can do that, then their TV time, and you give them a thing, you give them a slot, this is your TV time. And then you guide them that this is what you can do, this is what you can't. Little bit. They are still young. And they are not 7 and 9, you said, Salil? Are they 7 and 9?
Yeah.
So they're still forming their mind, by the way. Their mind is receiving a lot of messages from all of you and from whatever they are watching and hearing. So this is the time to introduce them to things that will uplift them in their mind. TV is definitely not one of those. No matter what program, not TV. So cut out the TV, bring down or watch the program, and so alternate it with something else. So you'll have to sit and think what is it that will keep them constructively directed in one direction. And I don't know what they would like, but I'm sure that you'll find something. Otherwise, outdoor play is still better than just sitting in front of the TV. Any game that they'd like to play. Now the weather's turning, so again you have a shortage of time. It's dark outside, but yeah, you'll have to plan on some things. Once your day is done, what else to do with them? Give them a food for thought. Talk to them. Hear them. Maybe just have them talk to you.
Yeah, they have a lot of clarity in their thought also. So if I try to scold them, you're gonna talk to me like that. That's the answer that comes. So they started treating you as friends right now, even when they're not teenagers. So sometimes it becomes very difficult. They have to tell them that you cannot really do this. But sometimes maybe we give them maybe more time or maybe something we get involved that they sometimes take us actually as their friends, and then they can do whatever they want in that sense.
No, so that's
So
you'll have to work with that. You'll have to work with that. Because if they start telling you that you cannot talk to me like that, then that's going to make it very difficult a little later. They're very young. How did they pick that up? Where did they pick that up from, Salil?
My daughter.
No, I think you need to...
I don't know, my daughter is very...
No, you love them and you say that's not how you speak to mom and dad. Say you understand that you love, that they love you, and but this is not how they speak to mom and dad. That it is okay to say, Mom, this is not making me feel good, but to say that you cannot talk to me like that young age, Salil, it'll create issues. Today they're speaking with you, tomorrow they'll say the same things to others, and that won't sit very well with you. Treating parents as friends, now that is something I actually answered recently. Friends means what? Friends doesn't mean, would you talk to your friends just like that and say, you can't talk to me like that? No. So being with friends means an open relationship, wherein we give some, we take some. But with children, being friendly is to be able to listen to them, is to be able to love them, and without being so controlling and authoritative. But if they are learning to tell you like that, I think this should be monitored a bit more. They're very young to say these things. And if they're learning, find out from where they're learning to talk like this. That's a little getting away out of the hand. And it may not be so bad now, but when they grow up as teenagers, you'll have an issue. You won't be able to safeguard their territories at all, because they're going to constantly say this to you. Then what will you do? So nip it in the bud, have a word with them and say there are things you can do and there are things you cannot do. And if something about dad is not feeling okay or mom is not feeling okay, you will know and you will check it yourself. But that's not how they say to you. So that you can help them understand with a lot of love and change the direction of that statement. So in case something you have said which they haven't liked, but they cannot tell you, that's not the way it works. You have to be able to tell them that this is not okay and that is not okay. Don't let them become your parents. That will trouble you. Friendship doesn't mean that. Friendship only means that our attitude with the children is like a two-way street, and it's not controlling them and it's not bullying them like it used to be in the previous years, where parents were very authoritative, like our parents used to be very authoritative. And we could barely go up and really say to them, this is what I want and this is what I don't want. But today, it is quite different. But still, I think the schools and the peer pressure, what they see in their friends outside, can lead them into talks which are not exactly how our families would find accepting. And if that is happening, then you and your wife need to sit with them and get them out of that. Because they will not know otherwise. Think about it like this. If you don't tell them, who will? And they will think this is an accepted behavior because you have hurt them and you have let them get away. So for them it's an accepted behavior. And that signal to them will take them a little more off track very soon. So it's best to help them get back and nip that thing and shape it. Shape it such that, they can say to you, but how they say to you, when they say to you, that is a little more softer and like childlike. They must always treat you like a parent. That thing cannot be overruled, that, friendly attitude doesn't mean that the parents and the children are the same age group. That actually takes away your authority on them, which means that when you can groom them, when you can shape them with a little firmness, that part is losing its edge. And that is an important thing. Who else will teach them if you don't? I completely agree with, a little bit of firmness. How the firmness is given? Give it with more love, give it with more understanding. Moreover, when they're making a mistake, yes, if that's possible. But I feel that the children get spoiled very quickly when we don't stop them at the time they have said something which is fairly awkward. So that should be looked at. Yeah?